I'm Chuck Kelly. This is my wife, beautiful wife, Linda Kelly. And in 1971, we stopped to visit some friends here in Bullhead City. I fell in love with Bullhead City, continued to come to Bullhead City for our vacations. And I met Jesus Christ, and I wanted to come to Bullhead, wanted to come and just share Christ. My idea, not expecting to be called by God to not only be a pastor, but to start Calvary Chapel, Bullhead City. Ended up going to Calvary Chapel, West Covina, and talking with Pastor Raul Reese. Said, go start a Bible study and see what happens. And so here we are.
40, almost 45
yeah,
years
40
later.
years later.
43
yeah,
years
43
later.
years later. So we started the Bible study, and we did it in several people's homes. Early 80s, we went to the Chamber of Commerce. Linda did Sunday school in the outer office of the Chamber of Commerce, and I did the service, if you want to call it that way. I did the service in the room next door. That lasted for about 2 years. I want to say 85. We went into the building that we were in there for about 20 years. And that was a little strip mall on Highway 95, 2636, Highway 95. And we started the pregnancy care center in that room, and we had a karate class for the kids in that room, and we had Sunday school in that room. And
meanwhile, the Lord had blessed us with this property up here, which was really exciting because scripture the Lord gave us for this ministry was, you are a light set on a hill, a city. Someone called us and said, I want you to look at some property. We went up here and I looked at Pastor Chuck and I went, this is our bulletin that had been drawn years before. And he looked at me and smiled and said, I know it is. So we began to wait on the Lord to build this property. And we built this during that time on the highway and came up here. Well, we've been in this building for 21 years.
we're not going anywhere. We're transitioning in the church, but I believe God gave me Bullhead City as a gift. I love Bullhead City. I always have. I love its warts and freckles as much as I love its beauty and the wonder of Bullhead City. And there's a reason a lot of people come here, but they don't have the patience to give it time. We're transitioning out of the lead position, but we're not leaving the community. Linda and I will still find ways of serving in the community. About 20 years ago, my now assistant pastor came to us. The church knows Pastor Mike, perhaps as well as they know me. We have, in a sense, been transitioning for some time. Mike has been part of the teaching staff. It's been good to have someone that I know, I've worked with, I'm confident in, to turn the leadership of the church over to. I'm going to continue to pastor. My goodness, I pastor whether I'm in Walmart or Lowe's or any place else, wherever the opportunity happens, I'm a pastor. It isn't just for the church.
Well, I've always, first and foremost, been a pastor's wife. I'm the girl behind the guy. I have some amazing women. I have someone that's going to take our women's ministry. We have a Bible study going on right now. Mike's wife is going to be the pastor's wife. She's going to stand behind the guy. She works in the office. We're starting the school here, so she's very involved with that. So it's going to be, I think, that way a little bit easier to just, pass it on. It's bittersweet. I'm not sad about it because I can see what God is doing. We just want the next generation. We're passing the baton. That's why you pass the baton. That's why you do that, is so that it'll keep going. The church to flourish, and it is, and we can see the next generation here. A lot's happening here with young families, and we're excited about that. So I think part of that involves us being willing to pass it, and we are. We're going to pass it. So we're excited about that. So I'll still be here teaching. I'm going to be one of the Bible study teachers. I plan on offering what I call discipleship class to the women annually, and we're just going to be here to pour into the body still, like we always have. So in that respect, not really much changing. I think just leadership. And it's not hard for me to put somebody else in that place. I think you just need to sit down your pride and let someone do it. It's not hard for me. I'm doing it because it's not about me. It's about the Lord and His glory. We've taken people to Peru to go there and serve, and we will do that again as the Lord opens the doors. And we'll see what our ministry is in Bulgaria. None of that we feel is necessarily over. Yeah. In fact, we feel that the transition maybe frees us up a bit more to do those things. So I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of, he's the longest serving pastor ever in this tri-state area for more than 43 years. He's a faithful man. When he fell 11 years ago, the whole community was praying for him, whether they came here or not. And the reason is because we love this community and we have poured into this community, but it's who he is, and people love Pastor Chuck. And so I'm just proud of him. I'm proud to stand by his side during this season of our life, and we're excited about the next season. So we don't know what that is because we've always walked by faith. So by walking by faith, look what God did. Yeah. Look, and is continuing to do. And we're not changing. We're going to continue to walk by faith, and we're expecting bigger things. In fact, the Lord has given us those promises that. And when he fell in the hospital, Grace, when things were at their worst, the very worst, with his health-wise, and I was grieving, the Lord spoke to my heart and said, the end of the matter is better than the beginning. And he spoke to my heart just a few weeks ago and said, that's still in place. The end of the matter is better than the beginning. So we're excited to do that.
Yeah, this 40 years of ministry is something that God has done. But what Calvary Chapel is doing right now is what God is doing right now. It's just being obedient to Him.
Yes.
When everybody closed down during COVID, not they closed completely, some did. We stayed open, and God blessed that. During that time of COVID, that not only did we pay this building off, but we brought Pastor Mike on full-time salary and gave him the ability to be here all the time, which is why we're flourishing, and God has continued to bless my ministry and teaching. But it's God who has done this, and God has blessed Bullhead City.
Yes.
He really has. When we came here, there was nothing, and through the years of hard work, yes, there was hard work, and there was a lot of things, and there was a lot of ups and downs. But God has blessed Bullhead City. God has blessed us to be part of Bullhead City.
We're in for the ride because it's all God. So
yeah, you know, God told me very early on to do two things: was to love the sheep and to have the best taught sheep that I could do. Teach them the best I could, and I've done that.
Yeah.
And so,
well done.
Everything else has been gravy.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.